One of the things that it is that I love to see is Donald Trump voters in real time regretting the decisions that it is that they made, but not just taking that stupid decision to the grave, but creating videos like the one we're about to check out and showing the world that they made a stupid decision and that they regret that decision. In this video, we are going to see the owner of a custom builders company out in the United States actively let us know in real time that he regrets his decision and tries to give President Donald Trump, the right solution to the problem. As usual, let's watch the video in full and then I'm going to give you guys my thoughts towards the end.
So I really didn't want to do a video on this, but I've been asked by quite a few people what I thought about the immigration stuff happening at job sites all around the state of Florida, here in Tampa, Tallahassee. I've seen it everywhere. I've seen a lot of the videos, and it seems like a lot of people are just yelling and they're mad. I don't understand why this is happening. I don't understand it either. It's not what I voted for. I voted for the criminals to be removed, 100%. But there are a lot of hardworking immigrants in this country that are building this country. Going back to when I started building the Hard Rock, 85% probably immigrants, all hardworking people providing for their families. Talk to them, get to see their kids on their phones, hear them all interact, have great days, loving what they do. I've been to the trade schools here in Tampa. I don't see how we fill these positions. It's gonna cause construction to collapse here. It worries me. I'm in a good position right now with the 2 custom homes I have coming up this year, but ultimately the shoes are not going to be filled by these people getting rushed out of here. So I'm not going to copy everybody else on this video here. I've got a solution. The solution, President Trump, is to not deport these gentlemen right away, these hardworking gentlemen and women that have been removed from these job sites. Get them legal status somehow, under a work visa, background check them, do whatever you need to do to make sure they're not criminals, but let's get them legalized in a rushed form or fashion. That's what needs to happen. That's the right thing to do if you care about America. It's the right thing to do because construction is the biggest industry. I'm sorry, healthcare, but we all know I won't go to health. I don't do that here. Construction is the biggest industry in this country. And you're ripping the people out of it. Robots are not coming soon enough to build this stuff. You can only build so many 3D printed homes, and they need people there to manage those too. So Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, the solution, not the problem. We all know what the problem is. The solution is to not deport them. Get them legalized as soon as possible with the proper background checks. If they have to go, they have to go. But these are hardworking people that are building this country to provide for their families. There's enough craziness going on in this world. We don't need it here as much as it's happening with good people being removed. Dishwashers and stuff in other cities. It's sad. It's sad. It makes me sick. But that's the solution, President Trump. I'm not going to sit here and cry about it, but that's the solution. Do what's right for America. Please, I'm begging you. Honest Hammer is begging you. Do what's right for this country. We need the hard workers here. Hope he sees it.
So what's interesting for me about this video is it's always these types of people that will create these videos and be annoyed and be frustrated and angry about what Donald Trump is doing. But you voted for him. You voted for Donald Trump and he told you multiple times what he was going to do. There was also another option. Kamala Harris told us what Donald Trump was going to do. He told us that. She did, sorry. Now look at this. Even in the comment section, he's getting cooked. Adam, first comment. So let me ask this, and I'm genuinely curious. When he said he was going to do mass deportations, what exactly did you hear or comprehend? Next one. This is exactly what you voted for. You voted for this, he told you so. Watching Trumpers cry only after it affects them is insane. You voted for the criminal. We told you what was coming. You didn't listen because back then your business wasn't affected. But boy, are you upset now. Now, take a look at this one. This is a really, really, really important one. Take a look at this. I'm going to read it out. Dude, I am an immigration attorney. You do not get it. For decades, I have had white Americans who have been impacted by immigration say this. This is not innovative. Immigration lawyers have been providing Congress with detailed solutions related to getting people amnesty. Where are we up to? Getting people amnesty, which is what you are describing. But the problem is that the masses have been brainwashed into thinking immigrants are mostly criminals, so they get people like you to vote for them. The majority of immigrants are terrified, are terrified of the law, pay taxes, do the work that Americans don't want to do, not criminals. They don't even reveal themselves of public services like going to the emergency room out of fear. So they're paying into social security that they will never benefit from. Think about it. The narrative that they're mostly criminals is simply to get you on their side so they get to do what they are currently doing. And then Americans who voted for this turn around and say, wait, but not my housekeeper, not my landscaper, not my nanny, not my construction worker. He's the exception. Get him or her status because it impacts me, the American. Hand over face emoji. People and their armchair immigration opinions are so annoying. You all do not get it. That is 1000% factual. That is factual information. Because, like we said, people were told this. Now, as you guys know, I always do research. Let's take a look at some of the quotes that it is that Kamala Harris said leading up to the 2024 election. And then I will give you the reason why she said these quotes in response to what Donald Trump said. In a Univision interview, Harris was asked about Trump's plan to deport millions. She responded, "Consider what that would entail and what it would mean. How would that unfold? Would there be extensive raids? Would there be massive detention facilities? What exactly are they suggesting?" The next part, she says, "We are talking about ripping apart families, tearing up communities, and undermining the economy. That is not who we are as a country." Kamala Harris said this because this is what's happening. Taking people that are working within businesses from particular communities, that makes them struggle as a community. Tearing, undermining the economy. These businesses, they now need to replace these individuals. And like the immigration attorney on the screen said, these are jobs that Americans aren't willing to do. So nothing that is being said here is inaccurate. Everything is factual. And this is what people like this individual voted for. But let's take a look at what Trump said in regards to um immigration and deportations. He repeated false conspiracies and made dehumanizing statements to um in regards to immigrants, such as claiming immigrants in Ohio were eating pets, eating your cats and their dogs. And he was focusing on Haitian migrants. And it was incorrect. He was incorrectly labeling them as illegal and accusing them of involvement in criminal activities. And the maddest thing is that all of these allegations, they were refuted. All of them. At rallies and press conferences, he continued to promote the idea that Venezuelan gangs were operating unchecked in American cities. Once again, no evidence. He continuously referred to them as migrant invasions and the enemy from within. This is very, very, very dangerous rhetoric. And this is the rhetoric that Donald Trump used to get elected. Why? Because he was able to brainwash Americans like this individual on the screen into believing that their biggest problem is immigrants and people that are seeking legal status. I could go on because there's so much more. There's so much more. But this is what the problem is within the United States of America. Donald Trump has been able to confuse and brainwash people to believe that immigrants are the problem, while actively, secretly, under the table, preparing things and putting things in order to make sure that the wealthiest of people get even wealthier. As usual, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. I always want to hear your guys' opinions. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.